Who else did Draymond Green put in his top 5? He put Tim Duncan. Yeah. Hell yeah, I would say Tim Duncan belongs in a top 5, right? Let's look at Tim Duncan's let's look at his resume, his defensive resume. I mean, he's obviously very celebrated. 5-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 2-time NBA MVP, 15-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first team, 3-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team. Now, when it comes to defensive, All-NBA defensive teams, 8 times, 7 of them second team. Notice that the first team All-NBA defense, right? The first team versus the second team. Those numbers, there's a discrepancy there. It's the era. Tim Duncan had to really fight amongst the dominant bigs of that era. It's really hard to get on an All-NBA defensive team in an era that had All-NBA defensive talent that was through the roof. So I'm not going to knock Tim Duncan for that. Does Tim Duncan belong in a top 5 all defense, right? All-time defenders. Putting him in your top 5, I like Tim Duncan, so I'm good with it. Duncan is in the pantheon of best defensive power forwards of all time. He's better than Draymond Green. Leaps and bounds better than him. He's better fundamentally, in my opinion. He's a better shot blocking big, in my opinion. I saw Tim Duncan make some incredible blocks. I've seen Draymond make great blocks too. But Tim Duncan did it for a long time. That's a lot of All-NBA defenses with a bunch of competition. Again, who in his era is Draymond competing with? Joel Embiid doesn't play. Joker doesn't play defense consistently enough. He's very picky and situational when he decides to play defense. Who, Avaka Zubac? Like, who we're going to say are the dominant bigs playing defense? Now he's got some competition because now you got Mobley emerging. You got, Wemby emerging. Come on, man. Not even close. Draymond Green doesn't belong in a conversation with Tim Duncan. All right. Here's a laughable one. Tony Allen. Draymond Green has Tony Allen in his top 5 defenders of all time. Oh, my God. Tony Allen. Former basketball player Tony Allen. Here we go, man. Draymond Green has him in his top 5 defenders all time. All right. I don't want to poo-poo on Tony Allen, right? I think Tony Allen's fantastic. But check this out, right? He was a champion in 08. All right, so credit to him. 3-time NBA All-Defensive First Team. Very nice. 3-time NBA All-Defensive Second Team. But that's all I got. Tony Allen has never been a DPOY. Tony Allen doesn't have the resume, the extended resume of all NBA defensive teams. He doesn't have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of these, 10 of these, 11, 12 of these. In my opinion, to be a top 5 defender all time, if you're looking at the awards and the accolades, you got to have like a decade of extreme dominance defensively. You have to be viewed as like the elite defender of your position or positions during your peak era of defense. Tony Allen had to guard Kobe, and Kobe mentioned that, may he rest in peace, Kobe mentioned Tony Allen as being the toughest defender on him. So that gives him a lot of cachet because Kobe said that. But, I mean, top 5 defenders? Is Tony Allen a top 5 defender all time? I don't think so. I think this is Draymond maybe saying he's one of his favorite defenders all time. It's really hard to say that a guy with a few All-NBA first teams and a few All-NBA second teams defense belongs in a top 5 pantheon of all-time defenders. That's not a good pick. So I think Draymond's that's not really fitting of a top 5. And then he rounds it out with Hakeem Olajuwon. Remember, he put himself as number 1. This one is probably his most important pick that he put in here, and I'm going to tell you guys why. If you notice, Draymond is picking guys that are relatively recent in their playing careers. He's got himself, obviously, But then he's got like Ben Wallace, who played within the last 15 years. I mean, it's been almost 20 since he was in his prime, right? But that's relatively recent. He's got Tony Allen, who's within the last decade. He's got Duncan, who's within the last 15 years, right? He's picking recent guys. But Hakeem is a throwback to the 90s. So I think in order for Draymond to get some credibility in this pick, to put him in his top 5, he had to make sure he got someone from the most dominant defensive era of the NBA, which is the 1990s. They played defense.